are about to hop into Panzer Dragoon Orta. Now, I don't remember when Panzer Dragoon Orta came out. I want to say Panzer Dragoon. I know Panzer Dragoon, the one that I always used to see at the retro game stores and over the years was a Sega Saturn game. So this game came out. It looks like okay, 2003. So this was a Sega game that they made for Xbox. I'm sure most of you know that Sega, when they gave up on the Dream or when they decided that the Dreamcast would be the end of all of their the end of their console days, there was a push for Sega to make games for Microsoft. And a lot of people consider the Xbox original, even though it's part of the same generation of consoles with the PS2, the Dreamcast, the GameCube, and etc. But the Microsoft original is considered, or the Xbox original is considered a almost like a Dreamcast 2 or a Dreamcast 1.1 and a half, right? Like a reboot, because Sega dumped some games for the that would have been on the next Dreamcast or should have been released for the Dreamcast into the Xbox. Microsoft, obviously, when they were first getting started, they couldn't get their hands on every game that PlayStation had. They didn't have any relationship with Nintendo, so they had to do something to, just get some software out there. And if you go back through the history, you'll see that there was like a dumping, and I don't want to say dumping in a bad way, but there was a working relationship between Sega and Microsoft. Well, some of that has continued to play out even today. Microsoft, if you go on the Microsoft Store, you'll notice that there's a good amount of Sega titles that are sitting in the store for purchase or to be able to play on your Xbox, and I don't believe all these are available for PlayStation. So anyway, Panzer Dragoon. Again, this is like your one of your typical Sega, old school like Sega Saturn type games that made it over. Um, One of the things I like about this game, it reminds me a little bit of Star Fox. If you guys enjoy Star Fox for Nintendo, it has a similar vibe in terms of like playing behind your flying object and kind of darting through the sky to shoot. I always like that. I think that view is fun. It's one of the reasons I enjoy Star Fox. So basically, what you're going to be doing is you're flying on top of a dragon, and you're shooting like lasers at enemies, at like quasi-mechanical, like aircraft carriers and kind of like alien almost type ships and stuff. It's pretty cool. I mean, basically, think of it like a Sega version of a Star Fox game in terms of like the mechanics of it. You know, this series would have come out originally when after the first Star Fox, but it basically is the same premise in terms of like the way you're supposed to play it. So it's cool to have this on your Xbox, and I'm playing this on my Xbox Series X. I picked this up from the Microsoft Store. It takes up very little memory, and it was super cheap. So two things that always draw me in. I don't really know the story. I don't really care. This is like for me. This is the kind of game I'm gonna pick up and play, mess around with it, and then I'm gonna put it down and pick it up randomly. I'm probably not gonna play it all the way through at in any sitting or even attempt to. This is like a fun factor game for me, like an arcade type experience for me, and that's the way I would look at it. If you're not into the series, look at it like an arcade type pickup. Like you're walking through the arcade, you happen to see this game, and you want to give it a try. That's the way you should consider it. As you can see, you're on a huge like aircraft carrier, and then these like dragons are like released. So it's like a hybrid of almost like Game of Thrones meets like Star Wars or something. Um, you know. cutscene graphics for these games in this generation were always pretty good, which kind of gave you a hint as to what graphics could be in the future. Alright, so there I am riding on top with my laser. It looks like it's like an assault rifle, but it's handheld, like in one hand, like a pistol, and you're riding on top of a dragon. So very Sega-like. It's kind of like the shooting mechanics of that Gun Valkyrie, which is another, I think that's another Sega game. And it's similar to Star Fox. It's maybe the camera rotation is very Sega-like though, so that's probably like the biggest difference. You gotta dodge the bullets. You can rotate and like morph your character, which is pretty cool. Like now I'm like the heavier dragon. With this I don't have the mobility that I have with the other one. The other one I'm able to like accelerate more, which is cool. So you have like your regular character, your gliding character, and your like heavy combat character. That you can morph between the three, which is pretty cool. This is like, if you think about like the evolution of like those like shoot 'em up games that you're like flying the airplanes and you have to like shoot a bunch of things at once and stuff like that. Like Sega like basically brought that into like a 3D game. So pretty cool. I think this is a fun game. I mean, this is like the type of game that I would have played like briefly back in the day. Like I didn't have this game and like play a ton of it before. So this is like a chance for me to kind of pick up something that I haven't really played a ton of. Pretty cool though. Ooh. Like slow down a little bit. Ah. Slowed down and still got hit. Oh. Dang. Damn, those things flew through right in formation. Alright, here we go. I'm not even wearing sneakers. Switch it to the quick shot. Airship is nuts. Whoa. Can't even tell if I'm really hitting it. Let's dodge those. It's just rapid fire coming at you here. Oh, I think I destroyed it. Nice. Classic Sega music in the background. You got all of this stuff. So yeah, that's looks like that was episode 1, Sitting in the Storm. Not bad. Panzer Dragoon Orta. Again, this is another quick hit video. I just wanted to share some gameplay with you and give you the opportunity to see what this game is like. It's an old school Sega game, a lot of fun. Pick up and play, and I highly recommend it. You can get on the Microsoft Store very cheap, and it takes up very little space. So you'll have some fun with it, just like I'm having fun with it right here in the Corner Arcade. Alright everybody, thank you.